Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of The Great Black North. I am your favorite author, Robert Mulolo.
And I am your favorite host, Devin MD Jones. And we have a special guest. Allia, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. I'm Allia Janay, and I am a cinematographer and writer from London, England. So the accent is British. I'm not from Canada, but I'm out here living in Canada. So hello, everyone.
It's still North.
It's still North.
It's still
Welcome. Welcome to The Great Black North.
We make exceptions sometimes.
I'm privileged, though. I feel privileged.
Awesome.
All right. So today's episode is my fault. You know what? I get inspired sometimes and I start writing stuff on Facebook instead of writing in, my personal space or, areas or, even my blog, which I haven't touched in a minute. But anyways, that's besides the point. So on Facebook, I spoke of what Greg Popovich, the coach of the Antonio Spurs basketball team, had said. And he basically was saying that an uncomfortable conversation needs to be had between the haves and the have-nots, those who are privileged, those who are not privileged. And that inspired me because I looked at what it is that's going on also within the Black community where, but first, when I made my post, I spoke about the privilege that white folks have over Black folks. And then I spoke about the privilege that Black folks have over, Black heterosexual folks have over LGBTQ community. The Black folks in the LGBTQ community, my bad. And I spoke about the privilege that Black men have over Black women. The response was instant.
Yeah.
Like, first comment, Black dude, what did the other two have to do with white folks over Black folks? I swear I've been having this conversation for like the last 10 years of my life. It's just been ongoing. And it's just like trying to explain what it's like that. And it's like, and I think one of the guys tried to make this point again is he's like, we're Black before everything. And I was like, yeah, because you're a Black heterosexual male. So then, yeah, of course you're going to identify as being Black over everything because that's the thing that you have to deal with, right? What happens when you're Black, you're a woman, and you're homosexual? What happens that? Does one take precedence over another one? Like where does it begin and where does it end?
See,
Right.
When it comes to all that, my response basically, I had to let them know. Like folks in the gay community, Black folks in the gay community are not accepted in the gay community because of racism. They're not accepted in the Black community because of their sexual orientation. So basically, it's like no matter where they go, their truth is never accepted, is what it is. You know what I mean? And when it comes to women, it's just good old male privilege. That's what it is.
Good old male privilege.
Good old.
Yeah, we don't like that at all. As a woman, I speak for that. I say I don't like that at all. That good old male privilege doesn't sit well with me. I'll say that. I can speak for that part. I'm interested to hear more in regards to other people's views. That was
what the other people's views.
Okay. I got it up.
Yeah.
I got it up.
Go to the religious views.
I'm ready.
Okay.
So, what was it?
I think his name was Jason Cox.
Yeah. I want to put people's name on blast. Look at you.
He just be putting people on blast.
Right.
I didn't care for his name.
Because you got beef with dude.
I ain't got no beef. I ain't got no beef with nobody.
All right. So part of the problem starts from when he says LGBT Black folks can choose to behave in a matter that they do, which is both anti-Black and a blasphemy to the living God, creator of the universe. There is no so-called heterosexual privilege, as this is how people are naturally supposed to behave, since that behavior brings reproduction, which brings life. So disrespect your creator, you disrespect yourself, which is your mind, body, and soul, expect to be demonically attacked.
I mean, come on, we're not dealing with goblins and Google, like, relax. Like, no, because religious folk, I realize they always want to go on some like that type of tip, and it's like, it's Halloween at the end of October, relax. Like, that's how it's supposed to be anyway. That just sounded like a mess. But I would say, okay, I understand what they're saying in regards to like the heterosexuality bringing the forth life. Okay, we get that. But everyone's view on, you know, who a creator or what a creator is very different. So this religious stuff, I'm like, okay, that's one aspect. Next.
No.
Hey, Robert, what happened? Tell us what happened with y'all.
Nothing happened. I mean, the thing is, I tried to explain to somebody, to this dude, that it's not like, I mean, you're not having a proper argument when your only factual document is your religious book, which not everybody follows. You know what I mean? Not everybody.
But part of the problem is they don't see that other people can have other choices and other experiences, and like there's just like one experience for them. There's one word, that's it, and nothing else matters.
And that's what I'm saying. I mean, I don't understand how. To me, I just don't understand. Yeah, exactly. Basically, like, you know, it's so narrow-minded. Right. At the end of the day, it's just like, okay, all right, you know what? This is all that's real. This is all I believe. I understand you believe that, but here's what it is. You can only have that conversation with how you call it? With a Christian person. You cannot have that conversation with a Muslim, a Jew, or a Hindu, or a Buddhist. You know what I mean?
Like you said, it's very narrow-minded, right?
Exactly.
It's highly narrow-minded, and not to disrespect religious people at all, but a lot of stuff is from ignorance and undereducation. Like, if you only know one book and there are about a trillion gazillion books out there and you're only reading one, I don't know what to tell you about your education. And then, like, how you're not to disrespect people, but it's real talk. And I went to a Catholic school, so I can talk firsthand. Like, I know how it is and what they put in your head in regards to religious texts and ideals and all that stuff. And if you're not reading other things, you're going to be lost in one way of thinking and imposing that on other people. And it's like, you better just stop.
Yeah.
That worries me in terms of, like, I feel like people limit themselves in terms of, like, they don't, without trying, like, if you're just like, I only believe this and that's it. And, like, you limit all the experiences and all the things that you can learn in life. Like, there's so much going on in the world. Like, there's so much to, like, in university, I took a couple religion courses just because I was just interested in other religions because I only knew mine, right? And in learning other religions, that's why I say I'm not religious, but I say I'm spiritual in that aspect, because what I've learned about different religions is, like, there's certain things in each religion that make sense for me, right? So then I've created a morality system for myself of which to follow. And it's, a lot of people we've talked about blind faith before.
Yeah.
We talked about blind faith a lot. And I feel that, and especially within the Black community, there's a lot of blind faith. And I think, for me, that relates back to slavery, in that we just relate back to what we've been told, and it's still a slave mentality. And until we start, like, reaching out, like stepping out, taking it upon ourselves to learn and to experience different things, we're going to stay in that mentality.
Very much.
And so it boils back to, like, what one of the other guys was saying on it, how, like, before anything, you're Black. And that in itself is very narrow-minded, right? So you're saying, I was like, I'm a heterosexual woman, right? It doesn't mean that I can't identify. I'm going to say that I know everything about what it's like to live the homosexual life and how hard it is to be homosexual, especially in the Black community, right? So the first person I'm going to listen to is a homosexual person about their experience, right? So if they're telling me I'm being marginalized because this, and this, I'm like, tell me more, versus being like, you're Black first.
See, and what I recognize, like coming from another place where being Black is like celebrated and you're proud to be Black, but where I'm from, you're proud to be Black in a culturally understood way. And this is one thing I talk about with my friends all the time. Like back home, we have like our England, London, but then we have a subculture of the Caribbean or the African understandings, ideologies, practices, and such. And it's like North America's Black community. What does that stand for? Like, what does that even mean? Like, I keep asking this question to people, and it's like,
the thing is, when you talk about like North American Black community, I don't know so much about Canada, but if we talk about like, for example, the States, what you're looking at.
Wait.
Did you hear what he just said?
Yes!
I don't know that much about Canada. Isn't this a great Black
community? You live?
What the hell?
What show do you co-host? Like,
right? And you're like, I don't know, forget Canada. Like,
fine.
Did you just fire yourself?
Fine.
Did you just fire yourself?
Did you just fire yourself? Did you resign just then? Like, was that your resignation?
Wow.
What happened, Rob? You were in Canada, man. You gotta know things. You gotta learn
your
things.
Canadian accent? Was that your Canadian accent?
I mean, I got a bunch of accents. They just pop up. I could be Canadian, eh?
No, do a Canadian accent for the rest of the show, please. Let's try that.
Oh, please don't make me have to kill myself.
That would be so hard. Then you have to.
That would be hard. It would be annoying. I mean, not you.
It's so funny. Okay, but sorry, I interrupted you, but I had a question. So when you say North America, do you think Canada and the US are the same?
Yes. I've been coming back and forth to America since I was younger. So I used to see a lot of stuff that I was exposed to from early that I still see, and I'm not in the US, I'm in Canada, and it's you take a car and you're in New York. So to be honest, it's all in the same playing field, to me. It's just maybe different laws that regulate, but the customs and the cultures and everything is very same to me.
But I'll tell you what, when it comes to Canada, what I've noticed in Canada is usually whichever Black culture is the dominant culture in that region is what people basically will start following. In Montreal, the Haitian culture is very much followed. Even you have your African cultures, like your African communities here and there. Mostly people follow and start like emulating what that culture is like. The same with here in Toronto, Jamaican, like Caribbean culture in general, being like the dominant one. I'm seeing folks that basically are turning towards that. Be it not only just like people from that are just coming into the country, like Black folks just coming into the country, but even white folks themselves emulating that particular group.
Right.
I don't know if I 100% agree. I was born and raised in Canada, in Winnipeg, Manitoba. And Winnipeg has, in terms of our Black culture, I'm Caribbean, so my parents are Caribbean. So I grew up very Caribbean, and that's my first and foremost culture. Like, if people ask me, like, where are you from? I'm like, Canadian or St. Vincent? Like which one do you want to know about, right? Because that's my culture, even though I was born and raised in Canada. Because my parents raised me very Vincentian. Like, we were part of the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Association of Winnipeg, and I danced in the dance group, and every month we had a cultural event, and every weekend I saw my cousins, which is 50 people deep every weekend, hanging around with Vincy people. So it's I was very, very deep in the culture. And then a lot of my cousins are British, right? So they would always come visit, and and to me, I see way more connection with British culture, British Black people than I do with American Black people. And
I would probably guess that is the Caribbean stuff, right?
Yeah. And I think that's part of it. It's just like, it depends on what I feel like. If you're Caribbean, then yeah, it's very, very similar. But if you're not, then that's where I think a lot of the differences come from. Like I just went on vacation with 25 Americans. I was the only Canadian. And it was just like, it was weird. Like I came back and I said to my friend, and I was like, and they're Black American, I'm Black Canadian. And it was the one thing I kept saying, and it was like, it's weird to me how different they are from us. Like I find them so different. And it's not a good or bad thing. It's just different.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's things about them that I'm like, I sit there and I'm like, oh, I wish I was more like that. And there's other things that I was like, ooh, let's not do that. Like, you know what I mean? So that's why I say it's not like a good or bad thing. It's just different, right? Like it's just kind of like stuff they do that I don't understand. And there's stuff that I was like, oh, I wish I could be like this, or I wish I was like more like that. And like, you know what I mean? Like I totally like jealous of it. So it's just interesting that like I see like such a huge difference in general. And like we're all of like the same age group, and like it was just fascinating to me.
I think there is, because I lived out in the States for a little bit, and as I said, I go back and forth. There is differences. I think the education systems are the very samey. I recognize, though, kind of samey. Well, the whole yellow school bus out front is the same-ish they got in the States. Okay, that's prison-looking bus that carting them poor kids. that real silly-ass education that ain't nothing to even give a child. Let's be real.
But that's what I look at when I see this. Very similar. I think our education system is a little bit better, and that's some of the stuff that I mean in that, like when I'm like, because like I'm like, how come you guys don't read more? Like, how come like nobody went to college? Like, how come nobody, like, you know what I mean? And I was just kind of like, I was just kind of like, whereas like everybody that I know, and it's also my social class, you got to put that into perspective too. But like all of my friends, we all went to university, like, you know what I mean? So that could be part of it. Like that could be me putting my privilege of my social class into that.
Well, look at you flexing your privilege.
But it's a real thing. And that's the thing though, like if I like, and this is part of the problem, is that people are not acknowledging I could just be like, oh, why are they like this? Why are they like this? Versus like, okay, maybe I'm coming from a privileged point of view, and I need to like tone it down a minute and be like, oh, maybe I'm coming from a different thing, right? So recognizing that is part of the thing. Whereas like these dudes, as soon as I was like, you realize that you're saying as a Black heterosexual male that you don't think that you have more privilege over a Black woman is a privileged view. And they're just like, no, that's not a thing. And I'm like, come on.
Well, men don't recognize misogyny, do they? As a female, they don't. Like, no offense, Rob. I don't know. Do you feel like you recognize misogyny, Rob?
To be honest, well, I do recognize it. I do recognize it. I look at it in myself, to be honest, and just I tend to recognize it from time to time. I don't. I will be honest.
Bad, Rob.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate that you acknowledge that. I appreciate that you acknowledge that.
Right.
Right. Because that's half of it is recognizing the fact. Like I recognize my misogyny. Right. Like I don't know if I was talking about this recently. I forget who I talked to about what with. But when I used to perform spoken word and stuff, I wrote this piece called Patriarchy. And there's a line in it that goes, patriarchy is everywhere that I look and everywhere I see, in the books that I choose to read, and even in the way that I want a man to treat me. So like it's so ingrained in us that it's like we actually look for it and want more of it. And so like if Rob, if you said that you're not misogynist at all, I'd be like, come on,
Yeah,
I would have been like, come on.
Listen, I'd be a damn liar. I'm not even. I know that. I know that. I'd be a damn liar if I said that. One thing about it though, like I do remember the first time I actually recognized it. Like I actually like saw it and everything. I was at this. What makes no. Manifesto had an event. I forget the name that they had, the name of the event. But it's one guy, and he asked this question, and from that point on, I kept asking everybody that same question. And he asked every guy in the room, before you get out the house, what is it that you do to prevent from getting raped? Like, what are the measures that you're taking to prevent yourself from getting raped
Wait,
before
what?
leaving the house?
You asked the
And the
man.
guys were just laughing because, like,
Okay.
now he asked the men that question, right?
Oh.
And the guys were just laughing because it's like, what am I going to do? I don't care. Like, I'm never going to get raped. Like, who's going to try to rape me outside, right? And then he went and asked the women that question. And then, like, just hearing the responses was just so, I don't know, like, to me, it was just so overwhelming because it was just like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like, the life of a woman is like that much different from the life of a man because yeah, they have to make sure that they have keys in their hand. They have to make sure that they walk in lit areas. They have to make sure that there's someone around, you know, and just in case there's an issue. Like it's just always being on the go and being ready to defend yourself. It's like you might as well live in a war zone. You know what I mean?
It
And
is a war zone.
pretty much.
Sometimes it is.
No,
It's
and
like
I
when you
mean,
go out and when you're like, oh, I'm going to drink tonight, you kind of have to be like, okay, how many people am I with? Like, who's got my back? Like, who's not drinking too much today?
yeah.
Because somebody's gotta take care of us.
And make sure that nobody like spike your drink or anything, right? I even heard this one story one time. Girl is on the bus. She's listening. She has her earphones on, reading a book, not paying attention to nothing. This guy like spotted himself in front of her and tried to talk to her and everything. She's not hearing anything because the music is blasting in her ear, and I'm pretty sure that's what she wanted to be like. And this dude just like went nuts because he found it disrespectful that she did not acknowledge his hello.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And it's
Right.
just like now it becomes a hostile situation for her where she has to think, hey, is this going to turn violent or am I going to be able to get home tonight? Type of thing. And that's the same thing we are facing, like us. Like I mean, if we talk about us black people when we deal with police or when we deal with white supremacy, that's what we're facing when we're out there as well. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, hey, like I mean, I saw a video of a guy. He was there to order a burger.
Oh, I saw that.
You saw the video, right?
Yeah, and the guy pulled the gun on him.
The guy pulled the gun on him because he thought that dude had a gun on himself, and he starts searching him. The guy didn't have a gun, but then he's forcing him to go and order.
He's like, "What else do you think I was here? I came to get a burger. Now I don't want to eat because I just had a gun in my face.
Yeah.
And now you're holding me at gunpoint to order food."
Exactly.
That's like craziness.
Like I mean,
Madness.
that's a traumatic experience all in itself. And this guy with the gun had his wife and kid with him, but thought that was normal in a restaurant. I'm just saying, we all have to check our privilege at the door. That's the one thing that we have to do. If we cannot recognize our privilege, then we're part of the issue. We're part of the problem.
Yep.
There's many problems. This privilege is, like I said before, like the undereducation of the matters. There's levels to it, and really.
Yeah, they're definitely like it in the ignorant part of it. At times, is just like some people just love to rest within their ignorance. They enjoy staying there in their ignorance because, as they say, ignorance is bliss. They just enjoy staying in that bliss.
Well, because they're in that privilege point of they're in that privilege. that position of privilege. If they give that up, then they have to start realizing that they're not going to get that privilege anymore.
Frantz Fanon said that wretched, the wretched of the earth.
The wretched of
the earth.
This is a great book by this man, Wretched of the Earth. Recommend it. Malcolm X used to read this dude. But anyway.
All right. So we're covering 2 topics today. We're going to switch to something lighter.
Okay, cool.
I was like, we tackled a little bit hardcore. We talked about privilege today. Now we're going to talk about beards.
Beards.
Beard.
Okay. Beard.
So this group, Beard Game Matters, is like, it is insanity. Like, I feel like I've had, like, one, it took me a while to even get in it. Like, you have to be invited. Like, it's invitation only. And I was like, yo, how can I get in this? Because I'm hearing about this. Like, who's inviting me? What's going on? And I finally my girl got in while I was on vacation with the Americans. My girl got in and she invited all of us. And I was like, yes. So I got in. And it's a lot of eye candy. It's a lot of eye candy. And like at first you're just kind of like, what's happening? Like it takes you a minute to kind of realize. And after a while you're just kind of like, okay, why not? Like, you know, like dudes objectify us so much, you know what I mean? And it was just kind of like, you know what? Like, why is it gotta be serious? Why is it gotta be serious? And you're kind of just like, after a while, you're just kind of like, okay, let me like this one. And you're like, okay, let me like this one. And now you're like, ooh, let me comment on this one.
Okay.
And then next second, you're in the DMs.
Oh, girl, he's like, so
like,
good I had to speak to him. Like,
right? You're just like, how'd I get here?
Listen, I'm here. I saw posts of girls in comments talking about, I will be a side chick.
Whoa, girl, slow down. What?
But the thing is,
that they will
saying
be
it out loud,
they're
just saying it out loud, but they've been doing it from time.
Very much.
Like,
boy, what a tea.
You know what? I want to read this thing. Like, you know, it's actually a conversation between a boyfriend and girlfriend.
Oh my God.
The guy is
if I had a boyfriend, he would not be allowed. If I had a boyfriend, he would not be allowed in the group. I wouldn't be allowed in the group.
Wait, you wouldn't be allowed to look at, you wouldn't let him be in the group as like topless or anything, you mean?
No, his picture doesn't need to. His picture needs to be out of that group. Like, the dumbest thing to me in this whole thing is women posting their boyfriends and husbands. And I was like, why would you do that? Like, there's like what I say, like a million thirsty women from all over the world.
Mm.
Telling your man, I would do things to you. I was like,
that's a bit much.
But why would you
want all that? No. I had to think about it. I was like, how do I feel about this? I don't like that. I don't like that.
Robert, are you in Beard Gang?
Huh?
Are you in? It's called Beard Members Matter. What? Beard Game Matters.
Beard Gang Matters. Yeah, I got dropped in there.
Beard Game Matters.
Yeah, I got dropped in there. So
you following the group?
No, I was invited and I was just like, okay.
So why didn't you post?
I don't care to.
You should post a picture.
You have a beard, don't you?
Don't make me post your picture and tag you in it.
There's no beard going on in the beard.
Hold on, let me screenshot.
No.
He's shy. Look, he's shy. No, tell us so. If you're shy and you don't want to be in the group, it's okay if you don't want to be.
You know what's so funny? Guys always think they don't want to. Anyhow, I posted this. I posted Robert's photo in there and tagged him in it, and girls started coming in his DMs. He would be like,
oh. You would enjoy your time.
Right? And most of it is like, honestly, most of it is completely harmless. It's just people talking garbage, right? Like people just like having fun because it's the internet, right? But there's some bold women. There's women who are posting themselves being like, hey, I'm single. Here are my stats. I'm like,
this is like online dating or something then.
It is turned into a dating group.
I think Instagram is online. Am I wrong to say I think Instagram has turned into some sort of hookup online? It might as well be a next platform of an online dating to me.
Depends on how old you are.
Yeah. People just jump in and get inside each other's DMs from time to time. So,
Rob, do you be getting into someone's DMs from time to time, Rob?
On Instagram?
Yes.
No, not on Instagram. Not on Instagram.
Oh, then where? Snapchat? Facebook?
Actually, I've done it on Snapchat. I've done it on Facebook. High Five was the first time I actually did it.
All right.
Yeah, I actually dated the girl too.
I don't even know what
you see? Internet dating, next level.
Was long time ago.
My first one was MySpace. A dude came in my DM. I'm gonna show you my shirt. Stay woke. Mark Stoddard, big up, my ex-boyfriend that I met through MySpace.
Are you serious? So both of you are just out here like,
Mark. Don't say I don't promote your stuff, Mark.
Online dating.
Don't you like how I did that?
I was like,
that was awesome. That was awesome.
That was a big plug.
It was so funny because I started talking about it. I was like, wait.
That's crazy.
Mark, you do great shirts, by the way. You do great shirts.
Yeah, live it, wear it. It's he has a lot of great stuff. So I'll remember to post the website on the link.
Cool. Well, yeah. I mean, I'm sure people be hooking up through this beard thing, by the sounds of it.
Dude, I had my first DM conversation. It was interesting.
What did they say? Wait, they DM'd you. What did they say then?
No, we were because I commented. He was the first one I commented on, and I was just like, I appreciate you. Like,
oh my gosh.
I was like, that's what came into my head when I looked at his picture. And I have a rule that, like, okay, you can have there's the picture you posted, then I'm gonna click on your profile and I'm gonna scroll through your pictures a couple times because you need to have at least 4 pictures that you look just as cute in. It can't be just that one.
God.
I have a method.
I see that.
And me and my one girlfriend, we like text each other. We were like, "Oh, did you see that? Like, what?" But you know what the funniest thing is? I was like, I have never done anything like this in my life, and it's weird. It's a little bit weird, and it's kind of like posting. When I posted like a comment, I was like, it felt weird. Like I was like nervous.
What the heck? What are you nervous about?
I don't know. Like it was just kind of like because you were putting yourself out there, right? And so I go. So what did I say? I should just post the screenshot of it. So I was like, I appreciate you, and he's like, thanks. He's like, thanks, and I was like, baby, you got a passport?
I'm done. There's gonna be a lot of flying and hookups. I know.
I'm like, please note, I just came from hanging out with my American girlfriends, and they influenced me greatly.
Blame it on
I do. I was like, one thing I like, love, and appreciate about Black American women is that they're very like straightforward.
Oh yeah.
And I totally appreciate that, and I want to be kind of more like that. So, and then he replied, he's like, yeah, Toronto's my second home. And I was like, all right, how about we both make it your first?
So you was real froggy. I
was shooting. I was just throwing shots. Taking shots.
Okay. First of all,
I'm not really good at DMs and all that stuff. So.
I wasn't. No, honestly, I've never in my life.
She's like, I was on the wild side.
I was like, adrenaline's pumping. I was like.
She said, I left a comment. It's when she said, I left a comment, and I was like, bro, like, I'm putting myself out there. Girl, bye. We need to go out, and then we'll see how you put yourself out there.
I have no problem putting myself out there. Online's a whole different thing because it's like because like that's there. It's all out there, right? I feel like it's even more out there than like if you do that and somebody was like, no, I don't want to dance with you. The 5 people that were standing around there are the only people that saw that. Right? Not on a world stage.
To be honest, to be told that I don't want to dance with you is it's sort of a norm. You know what I mean?
Oh no!
I mean, it's so normal.
Oh no! Really helps?
No, it's normal. But I mean, I get those. It's just like it's like batting average in baseball. You know what I mean? If you get like at under 40%, you are doing good.
When do you? Okay, question. Because I don't think I ever asked this question to any guys. What's a good appropriate time to go and see if you can get a dance? Like what mood in your head? Like as a guy, as a girl, I know when the mood is. Yeah. What do you think the mood is?
Eye contact first.
Okay.
It's gotta be eye contact first, and recognition that yeah, we are we are vibing from afar like that, and I'm just like, okay, cool. Now time for me to shoot my shot.
Okay, hold up back. Fair enough. Yeah. Interesting.
Then you have to also check the situation, see where the mother hen is at, then I'm playing.
What about music? Because as a female, I only want to dance to certain songs. Like what songs would like you go up like slow jams? Is that when you first try and have to go to dance, or is it like I'm trying to figure out what this guy is like? What's your game like? What's your game like? What's your game saying, Robert?
Well, slow dance was usually a high school dance. That's when.
So they don't do slow dancing no more. People don't.
They do at the end of the party, though.
At the end of the party,
that's too late. You should have made your move.
You
should have gotten to the point. I feel when the slow dance comes on, which is like 3 songs nowadays, if at all, is you should have already like kind of
connected already.
So that when that slow song comes on, she starts looking for you.
Yeah, pretty much. But during the party, I'm looking at reggae tracks, reggae tunes.
What about soca? That's right.
Can you dance to soca, Robert?
Listen, as far as I'm concerned,
on the waistline.
Can you walk up? Can you walk up?
Listen,
Robert,
I'm good with soca for 5 minutes. I'm good with soca for 5 minutes. After that, I get annoyed with soca.
Robert,
I know.
Robert, can you whine?
Exactly. Like I was gonna say that next because me and my girlfriends was talking. Because me and my girlfriends, we always talk in our group chat and we get all reckless on that, whatever. We were saying.
Want me on your group chat?
In my girls' group chat, like my girls back home.
Talk about. You had one of your homies came from England the other day. So.
Which homie came from England? Oh yeah, true say. But yeah, that was a separate thing. But yes, these are my homies. These girls and I, we was discussing the soca because we grew up in soca, right? And what I've come to realize is that guys that dance to soca can usually get it on in the bedroom. But the guys who ain't that good with the soca don't seem to know how to get it on in the bedroom.
Well, too bad your theory's false. The theory don't work with me as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, now.
I will listen. I got receipts. I got references.
Look, I don't know, because I would say as a Caribbean girl, it's very much soca is stamina, right? I'm putting you on. I'm not trying to put you on blast with that. This is all open. We all grown folks. Soca, you get me? Like soca is stamina, right?
Okay.
That's why I say that. And then it's like the man that don't. No. I'm not trying to say you don't have any. I don't know what your game is like, Robert. I have no idea.
No. Listen, if I'm down at a soca party, right, soca fete, and just what, for example, you got your Palance that plays, which I'm a huge fan of Palance.
Oh my God! Get out!
Fan.
I love that.
I will not. I refuse to dance to Palance. You know how old that song is? Like, stop playing.
It's very old.
I'm a fan of Palance. I'm a fan of Destra. Yes, if you play
I
Destra.
don't have a problem with Destra, but I'm just saying, like, Palance. I'm still upset over Palance.
But you can't, like, you're saying things like Palance. You can't walk your way and wind up to Palance. So it'll be interesting to see.
All you're doing is jumping back and forth.
Exactly.
Yeah. Dancing. But that's me having fun at this point. Destra, you can't wind to Destra, no?
It'll be interesting to see you wind to some Destra. I will pay to watch that.
I got some soca. I could put it on right now.
Why not? I'm joking. I'm joking. It's not that type of thing.
I'm loving this so much right now.
Now back to the beard game.
Are we getting a show? No, we'll do it another time.
Beard game group.
But anyways, so I'm gonna add you, Allia.
Add me. Let me see what's going on. Add me.
I haven't added anybody, but I want to add you.
Add me.
It's funny. Like, I want you to go in with an open mind and just be like,
screenshot, send to the WhatsApp group. Screenshot.
Just like, let's do this. You know, comment, be like, because you know what the funniest thing is that I had to learn. I learned a lot about myself in this group. That's what I learned.
She's having a revelation. My girl's having revelations, and
I need to know what the revelation was, though.
I'm a thinker, right? Like I contemplate things and I assess things, and it was really hard even to like pictures, because it was like there was something inside of me, and I think it's a very Canadian thing. Is that it's like we're very conservative in a lot of ways in terms of like, I didn't want to be out there like that, and I didn't want to be seen out there like that. And then I was just kind of like, who freaking cares? And then as soon as I said that, I was like, love, ooh, wow.
Well, yes.
It's just like it is, and it literally like, oh, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh, and then they're like, hey, if you work out, post your pic. I was like, picture posted. Right? Like, and then it's just like, as soon as I let go, and I did it for like a day, and I'm like, yeah, I'm over it now.
You had your fun?
Yeah, like it was just like, yeah, that was fun. But I'm over it.
Okay.
But it's just, I just found the whole thing so fascinating.
Canadians are very conservative. Me and my cousin, he's from England and he lives here. And we say all the time, like, the difference of cultures. And yeah, you guys are more like reserved on a certain levels, I guess. And you take things more like, I don't know, there's more like you want more subtlety in a lot of ways. Not too much.
Exactly. And that's the thing. It's a subtlety, right? Like you want to keep things like, oh, we can't be all out there and crazy like that.
Not all the time.
Right.
Sometimes. Just sometimes. Interesting.
Well, I got jokes for you.
What?
I got jokes for you.
What's that?
You went in the beer game group and posted your picture since we've been talking, and now you have like 50 hits already.
Woo! Go on. That's what we want to hear.
First of all, I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. Right? I refuse to believe it. That's one. 2, the joke now. Conversation between boyfriend and girlfriend. Dude says, I'm not playing with you right now, Liz. You in that gray no, my bad.
Oh, in the gray pants group, but still, go ahead with the gray pants.
There's a gray sweatpants group as well.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, I'm not playing with you right now, Liz. You're in the gray sweatpants group, and she puts a 0 as a response, and then he replies, "Come, bring my credit card and my car now."
Mm-mm.
She replies, "Baby, chill. My homegirl must have added me." And then he replies, "Nah, Liz. First it was the beard group. Now this. Bring my credit card now." Your groups are destroying relationships, folks.
Look, this whole social media life is destroying interaction and relationships. That's really what it is.
I already saw one situation where this guy posted and then this woman's like, hi, I'm your wife. What are you doing in here?
Yeah, I saw.
Mate, you see it there? You see it there? No.
It was like, oh, busted. And they call people, they're not all nice either. Like if you, there's this one guy that posted a picture and his pose didn't fit the masculine pose, I guess, that people like, and people went in on him. And I was just kind of like,
see, let's talk about this for a second. This whole thing breeds so much insecurities amongst people, doesn't it? Because now this poor person is going to feel some type of way now. I mean, everyone needs to feel validated, I guess, sorry. But it's hard to when it's like we're looking for that validation constantly online. Like, are people not sexy in their own homes? Like, you're only sexy online and you only feel sexy online? Like,
with filters?
No.
With filters and something else.
You know, I was talking with me and Lincoln Lincoln Anthony Blake. Me and him were talking about this the other day.
We were talking about the beard game group last night. we were I was giving him my jokes. Sorry, go on.
No, but we were talking about how some people basically outside of social media in their real life, these people have no juice, no nothing. They just basically live the life where they go to work, come back home, and as soon as they log into the computer, that's when they have their 6,000 followers, 6,000 friends or whatever who are ready to hear them, you know what I mean, like make those comments or whatever, because that's where they feel big, because real life sucks for them. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And when it comes to social media,
that's a hard way to live, man.
That's a horrible way to live. Exactly. Mm-hmm. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, especially if you were in school and you never, you never had any form of, social scene down there or something like that, or you didn't have that many friends, you were that loner and everything. Once social media comes to you, it's just like, hey.
But that's like what I keep saying. Like, I got my sister, right? My sister's younger than me. I've been watching her grow, all that good stuff. Now she's engrossed in social media too much for my liking. So I'm always on her, like, careful. This isn't real. This is only like one aspect of reality. Like, don't get sucked in. Do not let these things feed your insecurities. 13. Okay, no, she just turned 14. These are 14-year-olds already caught up in like that insecure pattern. Like you said, if you're a loner in school, so I'm already seeing like the way the kids are affected. She had issues with her friends over it. They were giving cyberbullying, and I'm like, bloody hell! Like the mom had to go down to school and all that stuff. So it's like social media is like a trip for kids and adults, and we get off. Like what I'm realizing, I'm gonna get all Canadian and American. What I'm realizing is that people are getting off online and people aren't getting off in person. Like the intimacy, the sexual nature of an individual isn't fulfilled anymore. Like there's not enough of, maybe that enough? Because everyone's getting off online. That's so pathetic to me. Like, you're a loser for getting off online. And it's sorry whoever's getting off online. But I'm a woman at the end of the day. I got needs and all that good stuff. So it kind of suppresses that for us as women, men, because we're flipping getting off online. Like, literally. That's what we're doing, isn't it?
Indeed.
Aren't we? To a point. Like, I'm sure people go out, like you said, you catch the eyes. Mm-hmm. Get the eyes. But more time. I stay in my house. I just can't. Because I want the real interaction, but then it's like everyone's so warped into the getting off online. Wherever you look, everyone's getting off online. And it's like, how are we supposed to have real intimate interactions, personal to personal level, blah, 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 if we're all getting off online?
You're right.
You know what I mean? I'm not even bashing these groups, but I know the mental of people, like you were saying, Devon, sorry, certain levels of people's different levels of education your American friends that you feel like say, you know, they just got a different mindset to you. I feel the same way about a lot of people around me, which gives me more like goosebumps thinking, y'all is already kind of not to say you're not there, but already you're disconnected from what you should know and be akin to. You're already kind of disconnected. And then on top of that, you're getting off online. It's like, who are we? What are we? What's everyone doing? Obviously, you've got online dating. That's one aspect. I get it. If you want to fulfill it, fulfill it. But then Instagram literally is online dating to me. I think everybody's just getting off online, linking up online. That's what's going on. That's what it feels like. I just want to talk about it openly because it's 2017. This is like the first time of our generation, or not generation, in our history. Let's say history of the world, of the earth, whatever you want to call it. This is the first time anything like this is happening. This is the first time technology is so rampant, right?
Well, it's like, even looking at just in general, like US and the presidency and all that stuff, is his whole presidency is based on his tweets.
I'm done. Like, Kelly, I'm gonna go now. Exactly. Right.
Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it's almost getting to a point where it's too much. I actually saw this video today too of this baby. When I say baby, I mean baby. Like, this kid could not be more than like a year old. And when they took the phone away, this baby threw the biggest temper tantrum I've ever seen in my life until you gave him back the phone. And I was just like,
flipping.
But I don't know. And I see it, like, I have nieces and my cousins have kids and whatever, but I see that in general, like, everybody's so, like, I feel like I'm just to a certain point addicted. Like, if I forget my phone at home, it's like, like, you like, I can't do this. I can't do that. Like, today I literally was sitting there and I was like, I need a break. I need a social media.
No.
I need to come off social media for like at least like a whole weekend. Just do like a whole weekend of no social media.
I turn my phone off from time to time. I literally will leave my phone in my apartment and go for walks because it got to a point where I was like, I know better, so I must do better, right?
Yeah.
I can't pretend like I don't know and don't do. Like you said, I went to university. I'm akin to like the study approach and the study and execute. Can't do that glued to my phone all the time. Like, it's not going to work.
Yeah.
I have to be an example to my sister as well. So I'm kind of like, practice what you preach, right? All that good stuff. And also I was going to say that, oh, darn it, lost it. Something you said, lost it though. Something you had said.
I But I was like, funny thing, as I was trying to find, I had an article for our good news because we like to end on some good news, even though your game matters is very good news. It was funny. It was funny that I was scrolling through to find it, right? And I was going through my things where it goes through everything that you've liked, because I was trying to remember where I saw it. And I was going through and I had to scroll so far because of all the Beard Game Matters pictures that I was liking in the last couple of days. I was like, all right, this needs to stop. I literally had a moment where I was like, okay, we need to come out this group.
Look, girl, get yours. I will go in there, preach, and I'm saying what I'm saying, but I will go and preach, I will preach. Yeah. Like, I like eye candy just as much as the next person. What do you mean?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Just eye candy. That's all it is.
But then people take things, I'm just talking about those who maybe take it too serious. Like the whole, I had to
take it too far.
I had to tell a friend the other day, go read a book and leave me alone online. Like, for me to have to tell you that, I've never told no one that before. Like, leave me alone. Don't worry about tagging. Don't worry about none of that. Why I didn't look at your tag. Shut up. Go and read a book. I feel like I'm doing better for you as a friend to say something like that. Stop bitching about what you see. I'm not responding to you online. How old am I? I'm living my life. Go and read a book. That's how I feel.
Hilarious. Okay, awesome. So the good news that I just wanted to share a little bit is Nova Scotia. After 200 years without land title, Nova Scotia Black communities are offered hope. So the empty lot in North Preston, Nova Scotia has been in the hands of Elaine Kane's family for many years, a connection that stirs, blah, 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 blah. On Wednesday, Kane welcomed the announcement that the Nova Scotia government will provide funding to help people in 5 historically Black communities gain legal ownership over the land that they've claimed for generations. Jesus, right? Like, like, how long did that take? Like generations, like how long have we been in Canada? And this has been their land, but they actually had no legal rights over it.
That's, to be honest, it's just, I don't know, it's just, it's kind of weird for me. Like, you know what, it's like you own your car, but you have no legal rights to it.
True. That's true. Like, well, it's like they're leasing it forever. So like one day they don't make one payment and all of a sudden they can come and be like, oh, that's ours now. That's back. So like, what was the one part I wanted to talk about? The problem can be traced back 2 centuries when the government gave plots of land to Black loyalists for their support during the American Revolutionary War and to Black refugees, former slaves who sought refuge after the War of 1812. So but the government, however, did not give deeds, which meant those who settled never officially owned the land they lived on. How crazy is that though, right? Like, because even like they just made the Book of Negroes, which is not which is not based on a real story. It's a made up story, but it's based on real events, right? That transpired, historical events. And yeah, like we never even thought about the fact that they didn't have deeds. I don't think I knew that before this. Did y'all?
No, I agree with you. I mean, the thing is, at the end of the day, when it comes to I mean, I don't know. I'm a little iffy. When we speak about land, especially when we speak about Canadian and American land, I'm thinking back to who was here first, whose land it really was.
True.
So
the land that was given away that they wasn't even theirs to begin with.
Yeah, pretty much. So it's like, I mean, I'm happy for the Scotians who actually get to actually have access to their to the land they claimed, like, you know, for the past 5 generations. But again, it was here first.
Right. Whose land was it to begin with?
Yeah.
But
exactly.
yeah.
But it's good for them. It's good for them. We're happy.
Okay, I'm just looking at it now. Thanks, darling.
I just shared it to our crew. I'll try to put that in when I post this video live for y'all that are watching. All right, so what do y'all think? So make sure you comment, share with us. You don't have to email us, just like comment on the Facebook post, comment on the YouTube post, comment on the SoundCloud post, like wherever it is, comment right there. If you don't want other people to see, message us in the Great Black North. You can private message us. Do what you got to do, right?
Yep. You can do that. And if you want to send an email, if you feel like sending us an email, the email goes to talkback@gr8blknorth.com.
I'm glad you spelled it.
That's how it goes.
You should have held up a sign or something.
I know, right?
What the heck did you just say, Robert?
Right?
I said
it's a Great Black North, but it's just like shortened.
Yeah.
with an abbreviation with the 8.
That's a lot. That's why I say just message us, like Facebook. We are in the age of technology. We just discussed this.
Where were you, Robert?
I know. No, but I'm just saying, we just discussed this. Use it. Facebook, YouTube.
Get on, Robert.
SoundCloud, iTunes, wherever we are. Wherever you see us posted, wherever you're listening to us, respond. Or you can follow us. You can follow me at Devin MD Jones. See on my screen, Devin MD Jones? Yeah, just put an @ in front of that, no spaces, and you got me. Robert, do you want people to follow you on social media?
You can follow me at RM Definitive or at Mr. _ Mulolo on Twitter.
It's too much.
You can follow me at Robert Mulolo, the author, on Facebook.
Choose one. Branding.
I'm giving everybody everything.
No, but branding. So make sure
I'm
all your
Definitive.
social media links are the
Definitive.
same.
RM Definitive is where we at.
don't work.
RMDEFINITIVE.
All right, Allia, do you want people to follow you?
Sure, follow me. As well as cinematography, I do performing arts. So I do a lot of like visual performance stuff, singing stuff. So Allia Janay, as it says, without the Christie. So at Allia Janay, QLQF. That's me.
QLQF?
Yeah, at Allia Janay, Queen Lost, Queen Found. So that's like my cinematography. Oh, yes.
All right.
Yeah, I was going to ask you what that QLQF meant, but I like it. Queen Lost, Queen Found.
Like it.
Thank you, guys.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
All right.
Robert,
so,
let's go.
I hope you guys just don't go too much into the gray sweatpants group and the beard game group.
Boy, that's sweatpants. Boy.
Like, how much gray sweatpants pics can we look at, though? Like, I was like...
what you seeing in them sweatpants? What can you see in the sweatpants?
See the imprint.
I'll go in that group. I'm joking.
And she's like...
Shoot. I like to see an imprint. I'm joking.
You're not joking.
No, you're not joking. Anyways, oh my gosh. Listen, this was an interesting episode, to say the least.
Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it. So how many episodes have you done so far then?
This is
Oh, by the way,
25 or 26. So we're
Devin,
coming.
I just want to say,
anniversary.
Oh.
Yes, it is our anniversary.
Yay!
Like, you guys are so cute. Like, it was like a couple moment. Like, no, baby, I'll tell you it's our anniversary.
Don't put me with him. Don't put me with him.
Okay. We are together, all right? We are together.
Sorry, side note. This girl on here in the beer game group, she's like, look, if I like your picture and you comment back, just know that we now go together.
Oh, yeah. People do too much.
I was like, but that's the thing. Half of it is just the jokes, because some people.
So silly.
Ooh, I caught jokes off of that. All right. Yay, it's our anniversary. We've been doing this for 1 year. Oh my gosh. That's insane.
And this was your anniversary over a year. That's amazing. I'm grateful to be on this one, and that's cool.
Yay!
Yeah.
Happy
Welcome to the anniversary show.
Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. What is that from? Animaniacs or something?
Probably. Some cartoon of the childhood.
I was like, something from my childhood.
You know them ones.
Right?
By the way, I recommend everybody watch the Def Jam 25-year anniversary.
I was. Yes.
I'm about to do that. I'm about to find me something to eat and do that.
Funny. It's funny. It's funny. I have enjoyed it. I'm about to. No, actually, I have to go. No. I have to do this. No.
Okay.
Anyways, yes, this is all.
From the men.
This was an amazing episode. Allia, thank you for coming. Your accent, I always love it when you come and speak to us. It's I didn't get to hear too much of the Canadian accent as I was hoping, but it's all good.
I like the Canadian accent. It made me laugh.
Thank you, guys.
I was like, is that what we sound like?
Is that what we sound like? Oh, gosh. Oh, God.
Too funny. You don't want to hear my British accent.
Go on, no. Let's go. Hair.
It's horrible. No, and I have to it has to be just put on. Like, I just have to start talking in it. I can't think about it.
Okay, so how are you today, darling? What's going on with you then?
No, it's not going to happen.
You know, I'm really getting a segue in there.
It's like when I'm talking, when my cousin comes to visit, and like we'll just be talking, and then it will just come out. I'll just start talking like her, right?
Yeah.
Like it's can't. And it's just like when I was with my friends, with my American friends, I just picked up their accent, and I was like, why do I sound like? Why am I speaking like this? Like I had to be like conscious to like stop.
Oh no! It happened. You see me go back. It happened. Oh, there it goes.
You're doing the Issa Rae thing. We gotta talk about the D challenge that they did.
Oh my God, so funny.
Oh man.
Oh, I love those two.
I've
seen a few.
At least I can rhyme. When Yvonne Orji tried to do it with Rotimi is like, yo, you're off beat.
That is foul.
I died. He literally was like, no, stop. He's like, you're off beat.
You're off beat. Like, relax. I was thinking to do it, but my mouth is a bit too dirty. And I'm like, I don't need to be saying all of that for the dick.
And on this note, ladies and gentlemen,
hilarious.
On this note, I would say I am your favorite author, Robert Manolo, signing off.
I am your favorite Great Black North host, Devin M.D. Jones.
You gonna keep
signing off.
And I don't know who I am, Toronto's fresh-faced British Caribbean girl signing off.
Hi, folks.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.
Peace.